because you're constantly thinking about work. You're constantly thinking about the deadlines you have to meet. You're constantly thinking about that team's meeting. Adio sound your teams in a kuhont. It's a disease. You need to heal, my dear. Wacha kuendea boss wako mandazi in the morning na wewe hujakunywa chai. If your boss calls you outside your work hours, hautashika hiyo simu. Because you know they either scold you ama they'll tell you something that will ruin your entire night na uko home. Here. Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Perfectly Imperfect with me, Marcy. Thank you so much for joining me on yet another episode. Thank you so much for listening to the previous episode and episodes that we have on audio streaming platforms. And unless you live under a rock, then you know we are on YouTube. So I'm really hoping that you can view this on your screen because I really need you to see the face behind the voice. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for subscribing, for sharing. Yeah, I understand comments zimezimwa. Someone is against me getting a man. Anyway, I'm also going to make sure that on the next episode we have comments on so that you guys can share out your views and so that I can understand what you'd like to improve or not improve. So in the meantime, I just ask you to subscribe, comment, like, and share. And if you're listening on an audio streaming platform as well, make sure to comment. There's always a question box thingy under Spotify. So you can also comment there for any recommendations if you'd like the podcast to grow in any way or to accommodate you in any way, then you can comment there as well. Yeah. Just a reminder that we also still have the merchandise on sale. We have t-shirts and journals. Like I said, we try to customize the t-shirts a bit to your liking so that it can be a bit closer to your heart. So if you'd like to have a piece of Perfectly Imperfect, be sure to order a piece of our merchandise. Yeah, right before I get into the episode, kindly remember to follow Perfectly Imperfect with Marcy on Instagram and TikTok. Yeah, we are on TikTok, guys. It's Perfectly Imperfect with Marcy, but your C with ni W with Marcy. The buddies will understand. Thank you. Moving on swiftly. Today's episode, I'm going to talk about things I wish I knew about the corporate world, or basically things I wish someone would have told me about corporates. And I've not been in corporate for for a long time. Me at Sina experience. I'm not going to come here and tell you, oh, CJ, I have 5 years experience. I have very few months or whatever in corporate. Like the things corporate has shown me. Why? Ogopa. Anyway, these are things I wish someone told me about corporate because I feel like navigating corporate is so tricky. I think that's the word I'd use, tricky, because you really have to be very, very vigilant of your environment and the people you're working with, especially if the environment is not pleasant for you. You really need to be, I don't know, macho, kwetu macho. That's what I'd say. So this is things I've learned from corporate and things I wish someone told me. So this is my experience. Experienced corporate buddies, tafadhali, watch this episode with no judgment. If you're someone in management watching me, if my boss is watching this, my personal brand has nothing to do with my job. Anyway, let's get right into it. So, like I said, I've not been in corporate for the longest time, but navigating corporate for me has been super tricky, and I have no one to run to because when I call my mom is a proper corporate buddy. But my mom's generation, ni ile generation ya you have a job. That's all you need in this life. Kama uko na kazi and a source of income, that is all you need. She doesn't care about these things you guys call mental anxiety from your boss. Ati boss wako anakushotia so si unalipwa at the end of the month. Ati, oh, work is draining. Why is work draining and you have a paycheck at the end of the month? So our parents' generation, honestly, they have been programmed, I say, to think that if you have a job, then you have everything you need in this life, which is not the case. Because I feel like sometimes we might even choose our mental health just because you're expecting that paycheck at the end of the month, right? There's this babe I was seeing on TikTok. I have forgotten her handle. She just quit her job last week and she had gone to return like the tag and whatever the things for work. And she was just saying how the work was like toxic and the environment was super toxic for her. And she just realized that she's not happy in this job. She's not happy at home because you're constantly thinking about work. You're constantly thinking about the deadlines you have to meet. You're constantly thinking about that teams meeting. Hadi hiyo sound ya teams inakuhaunt. Umedoze tu alarm yako ni hiyo ka sound ka teams. I don't know whether my producer can insert it for you, but I'm sure corporate buddies have it. So yeah, so these are honestly my own experiences and the lessons I've learned. And I just wish someone else told me this about corporate. So if you're transitioning from job search to getting a job, or if you just finished school, you're awaiting graduation, you're looking for jobs, I feel like these tips would really be helpful in your journey. So let's get right into it. Number one, I honestly never knew that you need such thick skin to navigate corporate. Nyinyi mnadhani relationships za Nairobi ni kitu bwana. Why? Hey, that's nothing. Nairobi men cannot compare to people in corporate. You have to grow thick skin. Like ile thick, because the drama that will go on, there's drama in corporate to the point that you're just seated minding your own business, alafu unasikia watu wanasema kitu kukuhusu kwa like, when did that happen? Hiyo ili happen lini? I have no idea when that happened. And imagine it's about you. You have to grow like very thick skin. When I got like a job, I'm a very emotional human being. So me, I'll just cry at the slightest inconvenience. I used to have a lot of mental breakdowns. I'm just in the washroom doing like this because I'm like, I can't do it. But over time, I have just learned to grow thick skin. Vitu zinahappen, I'm just like, I'm not even surprised. Something happens, I'm like, hiyo inishtui, you know? So you really have to grow thick skin. And I'm not saying this in a bad way. Ati, your boss is maybe shouting at you, or your colleague is, or maybe if someone is sexually assaulting you at work or those things, don't grow thick skin for those things. Get my point. Me, I'm talking about the work drama. Hizo vitu za mara you're being assaulted, ama your mental health is in the pits because of a job. No, that's not the thick skin I'm talking about. So there's also something else I learned, is that you need to have a life outside work, or else work will be the only life you have, which is very unfortunate. If your life is just based on your 8 to 5, you're just going to work every day, 8 to 5, Monday to Friday, and you have nothing else to do aside from work. I realized that you can easily get carried away with work, because when you're waiting on your off days, all you want to do is sleep, right? Because you're very tired, you have reports you did, maybe you have deadlines you needed to meet, you had meetings back to back throughout the week. And so you just sat down and realized like, oh, wow, I just need to sleep on my off days. Wrong choice, Shanice. Toka nje. Go bowling or something. Go connect with nature in Karura or something. Because honestly, if you don't, especially if you don't have like family around where you work. Kama sisi watu wenye sasa tumekuja Nairobi kufanya kazi ikiisha tunaenda nyumbani. If work is done, we are done. We just go back home to our parents. If you don't have like relatives around or friends, you really need to start connecting with people, people outside work. It could be churchmates, it could be other people you meet outside work. Because honestly, for me, I don't really like seeing my workmates away from work. Okay, apart from my best workmates. Yeah. Apart from my best colleague, who's now almost like my best now friend right now. I don't like seeing other people outside work, because they constantly just remind me of the environment at work. So you need to come up with a routine. Every day when you go home, do little things that bring you joy. And I feel like now this episode is starting to sound a bit similar to the one we did with Unspoken Logic, where we talked about corporate bullshit. But hapo sasa tulikuwa tuna call out the whatever mediocrity goes on in corporate. But yeah, so you need to come up with a routine, whether it's self-care, whether it's going out on dates, whether it's reading, whether it's going out for conferences or gigs or events. I don't know, guys. Just find something else to do aside from work. Learn a new skill. If it's painting, something that is just going to relieve you of the pressure of being at work 8 to 5, Monday to Friday. Are we clear? Yes, the gospel is clear. Something else is I noticed in corporate, and things that people won't tell you in corporate: friendship and business. Maji na mafuta. Friendship and business, they rarely go hand in hand. They can go hand in hand, but kuna mahali zitafika, and I tell you, zita separate. Because take maybe this situation, an instance where you and your friend are working together in the same office in the same role. Then one of you gets promoted to the role of a manager or a supervisor. And maybe you guys used to do these things, I'm not the birthday boy. I'm the birthday boy's bad boy. We do the bad things with him. So maybe wewe ndio mlikuwa mnafanya the bad things with your colleague who has been recently promoted. Okay, do you think this person is going to do the same things with you? At in 3 p.m. mnatoka. This person is now your supervisor. It's 1 p.m. You don't feel like working, you take a nap. It's not going to work. Friendship and business do not mix. And I know we take it like so personally when someone who's just been promoted, they're your friend uko like mbona amechange, mbona ameanza kuact hivi. Yeah, we also can't understand why mbona wameanza kuactive unless maybe we get promoted to the same role. So friendship and business will rarely mix. This will also tell you you really need to define your boundaries at work. Who are the people you relate to? Who are the people you talk to at work? And what do you tell these people? Because for me, I really like to separate like my personal life from work. Like, it's okay. You guys can know I'm a podcaster, but I have never ever like shared that link in the group your job. Ati, guys, subscribe to my channel. Where? Please, no, I have never, because I want to separate my personal life. Again, if I start basing my podcast with work, now I won't even have something else fun to do outside that work. So I really like to separate. So you really have to define your boundaries. Like how far or how much can you stomach in this job? How much can you stomach? You just have to get to a point where you're like, enough is enough, and I need to tell you guys enough is enough. So that's the other thing I think I wish someone told me. You really need to define boundaries. As much as you would like to befriend people, as much as you'd like to have a cordial relationship with your colleagues at work, you also need to show them that hii ni line yenye sasa hufai kucross. And I understand like if there are people that struggle in corporate is people pleasers. Those people will really struggle because they do anything to make sure they're pleasing someone, whether it's your boss, whether it's your colleagues. And I'm telling you, it's a disease. You need to heal, my dear. Wacha kuendea boss wako mandazi in the morning na wewe hujakunywa chai. Excuse me? Excuse me, mbona unatuma mandazi? Wewe you're being sent out to Java to pick his lunch or their lunch and you don't have lunch in the office. So you'll walk uende winame ukimchukulia chakula Java and they'll not even share it with you. Stop it. That's a disease. Heal from it. If it's not in your job description, don't do it. You have no business wiping your boss's shoes, heels akienda meeting. Why are you doing that? Kababa. Yani mamako amekulipia school fees. Umeenda university. You have hata mpoa wako ako tu home anajua umedunga suti. Also you going to the kitchenette. Kuosha boss wako flask. Nitatouch CV yangu wapi, my lord? Anyway, yeah. Honestly, if it's not in your job description, you don't have to do it. There's some things you honestly don't have to do. Like, and you can tell this person, like, unaleto report 6:30, you know very well, utaenda kupanga line ya supermetro ya Juja mpaka 9. But uko like, yeah, no, I'll just do it. And they're not even paying your cab. Where? Heal, bwana, heal. The other thing, you've talked about boundaries. Like I said, you need to like define your boundaries or else you'll keep taking things that are outside your job description. That's what now I was saying. Because now your supervisor will start telling you things like, and you know, the sad bit is, guys, you're going to do the heavy lifting. This person will go to the meeting and they'll present all that work as if it's their work. So yesterday night, I stayed in the office up to 12 midnight, prepping this PowerPoint presentation. Catherine, tunajua si kazi yako. We know. So there's no point of you working your ass off mpaka usiku at like 11, uende bado archives upange line ya supermetro imefika Mr. Price hadi inapiga kona. But it's not even in your job description. In the morning you come with eye bags for days. Eye bag inatoshana hivi because you have not slept. But you're still trying to be composed. Why? Because you want to move from the position of an intern to go to supervisor. And I'm telling you, employee of the year si wewe. Ni swa boss wako. Huyo mwenye anaingia job 11 anatoka 1. That's the employee of the year. It's not you. Just rest. So define your boundaries, guys. Na sijui mbona na sound ni kama naongea na machungu sana. Sijawahi endea boss wangu mandazi. Disclaimer, I have never. Yes. Sijawahi. Yeah. The other thing the other thing I wanted to say, or something I wish someone had told me, and my mom is a proper corporate buddy, guys. I really wish she would have told me these things. Ningekuwa na a lot of experience, like ningekuwa najua so many things. But sasa, when you call my mom, she listens to your troubles about corporate. anasikiza story, anasikiza, oh, ayayay, that is so bad. Okay, so kesho unaingia saa ngapi? Bro. As in the levels our parents, the things our parents are willing to stomach for jobs. And I understand, like, it's nothing new. Like, even ndivyo wao wako raised, but we are in a different generation. Honestly, even that boss mwenye, I've heard of offices where at a Friday people don't work. Like, uko afternoon, you guys do game nights or something, game days, just something fun in the office. So hata huyo boss wako mwenye anaku-expect to do things. I had a friend in campus, alikuwa amepata job before we graduated. So this friend of mine, I think she was planning for her graduation and all that. So she told the boss, I need off on Friday so that I can at least attend, on Thursday and Friday, so that I can attend rehearsals on Thursday, and then Friday sasa the actual graduation. And the boss was like, rehearsal inaanza saa ngapi? So she said walisema around 12. Okay, yeah, then utaingia job half day. Shanice, nimefanyia hii degree kazi. Then you imagine, like, hata wezi accommodate mtu to the point that unamwambia, oh, it's your graduation, take today off, take today as your leave. Unamwambia no, ingia hata hiyo half day. This is, I don't know, guys, maybe if someone was speaking from a point of management, they would have said it different. But for me, honestly, I don't see why. To me, if I was hiyo time yenye nilikuwa na graduate, that it meant everything to me. That was everything it meant to me. Like, this is someone who's just fresh from campus. This is their biggest achievement yet. It feels like you're robbing them their joy. So I've had offices where bosses treat people like I'm really trying to avoid the word family. Todo. There is no family in corporate. Hakuna. Unless your dad or your uncle is your boss. And we all know uncles are not your bosses. Kwa sababu CV ndio wanapanguza nayo chai kimwagika. Hiyo CV yenye alikwambia umdropie hapo kwa secretary. Wachie secretary hiyo CV, kuna mahali nitaituma. Also him in the office chai kimwagika. Ebu hii ni nini? Huyo uncle yako. Yeah. So I've seen people, honestly, who treat other people with decency. It's just basic human respect, decency too. Like, respect to mtu, right? The other thing, and my mom will be so proud of me for saying this, is pray. Pray. Imagine, pray for your job, pray for your colleagues, pray for your boss, pray for your work environment. I have seen people going to work, they get accidents, they get fractures, and the bosses don't do nothing. Ni sawa tu. You're just, ni sawa. So we sukom sick. Hey, wezi ingia 4 months. Ayaya, sa itakuaje na hizo reports. You're left just like that. You are going to work in the morning, you just got an accident, maybe you had a fracture or something, but wako like, manze, we can't afford to keep you here in 3 months kama ufanyi kitu. Unaachiliwa tu. So you need to pray. And I think I had said this a while ago on my Instagram stories. One thing about transitioning from job searching to the actual job is that you realize your boss can highly affect your life. Highly affect your life. You can either ona simu ya boss wako anakupigia and it makes your day, because there's people, hata kama you've screwed up big time, they'll tell you with respect, like, hey, we need to talk about this, just come to the office. Then we all know kuna ule wa, sasa hiyo ni nini umefanya? Takataka. But anyway, so kuna hao wenye they'll scold you on the phone. And do you guys know this, watu wenye wana work, I'm sure you know this type of thing where if your boss calls you outside your work hours, hautashika hiyo simu. Because you know they either scold you, ama they'll tell you something that will ruin your entire night. Na uko home. Like, you're at home. But there are other people, you can gladly reply to an email ya boss wako ukiwa kwa nyumba, because you know, like, it's nothing out of the ordinary. So if there's something I wish to tell you, you who is transitioning from job search to nini, it's not a bed of roses. You don't always expect to find this boss who is going to buy the whole office KFC on a random Friday, or mmepata, now you guys have gotten such a huge deal and the boss is like, hii pesa ni kama tutagawana like this. No, it's not always like that. We have some of those people in corporate, but I can promise you 70% see how, right? But we move regardless. So pray guys, pray about your work. Hata sasa hivi una job search. Just ask God to put you in a good office. Si ofisi yenye unaingia unapata watu wamekukasirikia kwa sababu sasa wewe ni Gen Z, hauna bills, unaingia tu kwa ofisi every day na KFC na Java. Now Wanjiko is mad. Why Wanjiko? Why you mad? Sasa umejam kwa nini? Ambia tu bwana yako akununulie KFC pia yeye, cause yeah. Yaki na sound niko na machungu kwa hiyo episode. Guys, sina machungu. Anyway, so yeah. Like, I don't know whether you guys have heard right now in corporate, mkianza, hata if you speak up about something, which is going to take me to the final thing I want to say about things I wish I knew about corporate. When you speak up, wanaanza kusema, you know the problem with you Gen Zs? Shida like it's like they have something against Gen Zs. And saindo wameanza kuchange their mentality about Gen Zs. Because kitambo, Gen Zs tulikuwa tu tunaangaliwa kama, I don't know, there's a day I just told my mom, hii Monday nitakuwa off, I'm just going to bed rot. Alikuwa like, ati? Nikamwambia, yeah, bed rotting is a thing in Gen Z. I just, siamki stoki kwa kitanda, niko tu kwa simu, naendea chakula na kulia kwa kitanda, na lala off day yangu inaisha. She was like, I weep for this generation. That was her exact reaction. Sahi tumeanza revolution, ndio sasa wanaona, kumbe this generation can really help. So, with especially with young people, if you go to a workplace, where I was at interning, I'd say, or attachment, ilikuwa ofisi ya gava, like, where my colleagues are like, wazee kuniliko. I used to do some things and then wako like, mi siwaelewi. Walikuwa tu wanasema, mi sielewi generation. Like, mnadu. Tunaingia kwa ofisi, we speak about some things. Tunasema, ama mtu anasema, leo niko njaa, jana nilikula tu galdina. Then, Karis in the office is like, ati, hiyo ni nini? Sasa mwanze kumwelezea galdina, na mbona inaitwa galdina. By the time you know it, ushaanza kupatiwa lecture vile, you guys don't eat vegetables in your generation and you're going to perish. Sasa uko like, it was just a simple joke. So Gen Zs right now, even in corporate, you might speak and they can either accommodate your views or they can either kutupilia mbali wako like, huyu ni mtoto ajui nini anasema. Which brings me to the last thing, guys. Speak up. As hard as it is in corporate, sometimes people who speak up are viewed as these people who are inciters. They are viewed as people who don't want good things for the company, and you're trying to speak up even when things are not going right. And one thing about Gen Z, honestly, and something that I'm really proud of, and I'm really proud to be in this generation, is that sisi utatufinyilia tukiona, tutakwambia. Sawa, my promotion relies on this, let me tell you, basi never promote me, wacha tu nikae hapa. But at least nimekwambia, I have put it out there. So you really need to speak up when things are not going wrong. And I'm talking things that make you uncomfortable at work. You know, there are things you can actually compromise for in corporate. Kuna vitu zenye unaangalia, okay, this is not going on right, but I can compromise. Kama chai haina sukari kwa ofisi, ni sawa, I can compromise, I can bring my own sugar, or I can take coffee. But there are other things that really make you uncomfortable at work. If it's affecting your health, if it's affecting your personal life, if it's affecting your mental health, then this is something you should definitely speak up about. And I niliona tweet, and I think I even have the screenshot, maybe I can't retrieve it at this point. People were like, ati Gen Z wanaanza kupiga kelele when the salary is delayed. And now I'm like, this is something else the other generation was so used to. So membo mtalipo date 10, there's no communication that salary itaingia date 25. There's no communication, but now when we speak up, it's wrong. Why? Why didn't you send out a memo? Like, mbona hukutuambia, izeni wase, manze hii mwezi, mtalipwa this and this date. I mean, like, this is just common courtesy. Tell people, hiyo pesa yenye mna expect haikuji. Na mnajua mnadhani Gen Z pesa yetu ni ya nails na nguo. Yes, ni ya nails na nguo, but tuambieni itaingia late. Just tell us itaingia late, because, I mean, why not, right? So speak up, guys. And I know it's very easy to be intimidated, because especially in an environment where you're speaking about genuine things that are affecting the office, alafu unaulizwa, we mbona unaongelelea everyone? Who are you to speak for everyone? Me. Ni mimi. Awataongea sawa, I will speak for them. I will speak for them, because we honestly suffer in silence so much, but these are things that we can talk. Like we can speak up about. And I don't know whether even these people take note of these things, because HR is there to protect the company from you. Ni wewe. You're the bad guy. It's not the company. You. Ni wewe. We are protecting the company from you. So you might not like speak up and be heard, but at least you spoke up. You said that thing. You put it out there. And you know what? Sometimes maybe they'd go into management offices na wakwe like, we unajua huyu msee aliraise hii point tena na tena. They might get triggered. Maybe hiyo siku the grace of the Lord itashuka in that boardroom. Hallelujah. And they will be like, let's take this and implement it for the sake of this person. So those are some of the things I wish I was told about corporate. But here I am, being the big sister, telling you guys these things because if there's one thing I really wish is that my sister doesn't experience half of the things I have gone through as an adult. This is the whole reason why I have this podcast. I'm really hoping my baby sister is learning something from this podcast because I even tell her, Mr. QPTA, even right now she's in high school, and I tell her, this is what you can do, right? This is what you can do different from what I did. Juu mi sitaki end up like aanze kama mimi kustruggle mali nilianzia, you know? So if you're in that transition, job search or finished school trying to now get into the job search market. These are some of the things to look out for. And it's so sad because you can't see these things when you look up the company on Google ama LinkedIn. Why? Kampuni imepambwa. Imepambwa hatuwezi amini wanakunywa chai bila sukari. Yes. So sadly, you can't see these things. You can't tell how toxic a company is just by like apply to attach CV. That's why I'm saying, guys, just pray to God to guide you on where to apply in the right places. Juu unaweza apply place by the way na ikutai for life and you can never even move on from it. So pray for your bosses, pray for your colleagues, pray for your jobs. Just pray because I honestly don't see how else we can navigate this life if God does not give us the grace and the wisdom on where to apply. Yeah. So this is, I don't know how many minutes of me ranting and talking. Oh, like I said, my personal brand has nothing to do with my job. At work, I am a different person who speaks up for other people. Anyway, guys, so yeah, that's all I had to say for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you will share, subscribe, comment, and like. Yeah, like. And yeah, so right before I wrap up the episode, I'd like to say, with everything that's going on in the country, with protests and rejecting finance bill, yes, tuna reject finance bill na Ruto must go. It's not a secret. Yes, Ruto must go. And we are rejecting the finance bill. But at the end of the day, please make sure you're safe. Going out to protest is very bold of you and brave of you to show up in the streets for your country. But I don't think Kenya is worth dying for. Yeah. You don't deserve death because of this shitty country and pathetic country. You don't. So stay safe, guys. I'm super proud of everyone who showed up on the streets. Mimi, I was personally threatened. And well, story for another day. Again, guys, this is a different generation. Let's have some decorum. That's all I'd say. Let's have some decorum. I don't think it's wise you go into that shop in Moy Avenue for someone and loot the whole business. The whole time, huyu ni mtu ako 24, they took a loan maybe to set up the business. Maybe aliomba wazazi wake pesa and yeah, right? Let's just have some decorum. Again, let's be logical in these protests. My mentality about the protest was so different until I had that sit down with my dad on Monday. Because I was like, now I want to understand why exactly mnasema we can't go to certain places. And my dad was just like, kuna vitu, akaniambia tu, he has a constitution in the house. Na akaniambia chukua tu hiyo constitution na ufungue this and this page. It says kuna protected areas by the government. One of them was police station. Another one was places za jeshi. And another one was state house. Those are protected areas. There's no time utaenda hiyo place na ukubali, like you can get shot and it's a protected area. It's in the constitution, guys. As much as we'd love to occupy Charlene's closet, tutupe hizo wigs zote. As much as we would have loved to do that, guys, let's have some decorum. Let's not just act because we just want to act, right? We want to be heard. And this is a different generation in that the very first protests zilikuwa very, very peaceful. Hakukuwa na anything, like tear gas watu walikunywa. So everyone else that's trying to join Gen Z, please align your thoughts with Gen Z's thoughts. Let's have a common thought, which is peacefully regaining what is rightfully ours from this country. Okay? So I'm hoping kama unaenda maandamano on Tuesday and Thursday, make sure to check out ways. I think there's a page, Yamushiri Mike, it's called Civic Education, if I'm not wrong. Check out the page, see how you can contribute. If you're not able to go on ground to protest because of one reason or the other, use your personal page. Activism, digital activism is doing wonders. History yote ilianza na a simple hashtag on Twitter, but ndio hiyo blow up. So digital activism, it's going to do a lot more than you think. So at the end of the day, be safe. Na above all, kama uko single, jaribu as much as possible, tafuta mtu kwa maandamano. Yeah, this is me speaking to myself. Lakini sitatafuta mtu. Coaches don't play. Just take my advice, but don't expect me to take my own advice anyway. So, thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I hope you had fun on this episode. I hope this was why Aki my managers. Me na akili yangu ina ring to manager CV. Kindly please find attached. Uko nimesema vile I'm a very introvert. I'm an introverted person. Lakini anyway, yeah, so I hope you had fun. Remember to share. Aki, nawasihi. Kukuwa na 41 subscribers surely na vile nimeng'ara. Yeah, it's giving Zimbabwe for real. So just subscribe, guys. Subscribe, like, comment, share, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.